to talk about and plenty to do. So get the gossip, get the scoop, and tune right into the editorial to keep you in the loop. It's the editorial, a Wichita Baby podcast.
Good afternoon. Today's guest, plural, is an exciting one. I actually bought an energy drink because I don't know if I can keep up with their energy. So today I have Kelcy Moore and Jenna Armagost with Kelcy's Dance Studio. How y'all doing?
So good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Well, I see you guys brought coffee, so
Oh, yeah.
you guys have the
Always.
built-in caffeine. Okay. All right. Do you guys want to do a quick introduction of yourself?
Sure.
Kelcy, you want to start?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, my name is Kelcy, maiden name Fowler Moore. I'm from Wichita. We started the studio, let's see here, it was 2010. 2010. That seems like so long ago now. It was formerly Julie Keeling's dance studio. So she was kind of a one-name entity on the east side. Miss Julie, people that went to Capon or Southeast or East, they were like, oh, I dance for Julie. So it was a studio that had been established and around for about 30 years. And then when I was in my early 20s, I had just gotten married and I had a 1-year-old, just found out I was pregnant. And one morning I got this text that said, did you hear about Miss Julie? And she had had a massive heart attack and died suddenly. She was only 52 years old. It was shocking to everyone because all these people who had danced for her, like we didn't even know she had a heart condition. She never made that known because she was so energetic and full of life. And it was really sudden and it was terrible. And it was the week before her fall classes were supposed to start. Like the first week of September, dance starts up. So it was right before Labor Day. And so I got that text and was invited to this kind of celebration of life rather than a funeral. And it felt like just a big party, like almost like a wedding reception. There was food. They had videos up, TVs everywhere with all of the years of her recitals and stuff. So we went to that and I met her husband and it was kind of like, hey, you're one of her students who's pursued dance professionally. Is this something you want to do? So I took over the studio like within a week and I was like, I can't do this alone. I'm pregnant. And the first thing that came to mind is I need my best dance buddy on board. So I called up my buddy here, Miss Jenna, and was like, hey, do you want to go on this adventure with me this year? We'll see what happens. So that's kind of how the studio started. And so she's been my right-hand man since day one. And I always tell her I attribute all of the studio's success to her and her visions and constantly pushing me. And because I could be complacent and sit back and just do things easily and just kind of how Miss Julie had always done them. But she's been the life of this studio.
That's a great segue into
So let's
Jenna's
introduce
introduction.
now.
So let's go ahead and introduce.
Okay, well, I'm Jenna Armagost, and I've been working alongside Kelcy for 14 years, coming up on our 15th year. I am mainly in charge of our Platinum Dance Company, which is our competitive program. And then we just founded our new pre-professional hip-hop program, which is called Elite Visionary Unit. And we kind of run that with 3 other staff members, Adam Bradley, Madison Flusky, and Chloe Thrillkill. And yeah, I teach all the older kids and the hormonal middle schoolers, and I love it.
So let's take it back all the way to the very beginning. So I'm guessing both of y'all have been into dance since a young age.
Yeah.
Her more so. I was kind of late to the game, as we kind of mentioned in our pre-show banter. My family's very athletic, and I played every sport known to mankind. Failed epically, but I gave it my all.
Welcome to the club.
I have a vision problem. We're going to blame it on that. Also, I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I was like, running, this sucks. So I begged to do dance and couldn't get into Miss Julie. She had a waiting list. What's funny, she never advertised for years. She wasn't listed in the phone book or anything. And it was just, oh, you want to dance for Miss Julie? You got to call and get on a wait list. So I didn't start till I was 10. I didn't get in until Halloween week of 5th grade.
Okay.
And I remember because I came in full costume and not everyone was in costume. And it was like a totally like Mean Girls moment. Like,
So Jenna's the more seasoned veteran.
yes,
then.
absolutely. She's been dancing. You tell your history.
I have been dancing since I was 3 here in Wichita. So I started at Kansas Dance Academy, and I danced all throughout high school and then went on to Wichita State, danced on the team there with Kelcy.
Go Shocks. Yeah.
Go Shocks.
Yeah.
It was a wild time. It was
Yeah.
so fun. And yeah, I've just been dancing my whole life. It's the only thing I know how to do.
So both of y'all are Wichita born and bred?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. High school, then obviously college. When were you guys at Wichita State?
I was there 2007. Well, I was a professional student, so I didn't graduate till 2013.
That's how most of the students are at WSU.
Right. You don't want to leave a party at 10.
No.
I was there. I actually did go to KU for 1 year. So I was at KU from 2005 to 2006. And then I tried out for the Wichita State dance team. I was like, hey, guess I'm moving home. Best decision ever. I love Wichita State. And then I was there for 2 years. And then I got married like midway through junior year.
Yeah.
And then I was a dance major. So got pregnant that next summer and was like, ooh, that's kind of hard to be a dance major when I'm due halfway through. So I didn't finish senior year, but.
Yeah. So 2013, was that the year, were you there for the Final Four run or
Yes,
just?
I was.
Okay.
And I went.
You went? I was there in Atlanta. I was there in LA. I did the Atlanta trip. That was probably one of the wildest times of my life.
It was so fun. It's like I tell all my kids who are like Wichita State fans now, I'm like, you guys couldn't even imagine how wild it was. Pump House every weekend during the final, like during that whole run was wild. It was so great.
Like it's something you'll look back on when you're, a grandparent and whatnot. Like people, you just will never understand the excitement, even like the buzz in the city and how everything like shut down for the games.
Everyone was in such a great mood.
Yeah,
that's what I remember most.
What a time!
I know, right? Sports.
So Kelcy's Dance Studio. Tell us about that. What parents can expect. I actually like my daughter. She does gymnastics. I know we've talked before about getting dance, and we kind of battled between dance and gymnastics. And I remember I asked on Facebook, "Hey, give me some dance studio recommendations." And I think you guys were probably the most recommended ones.
Oh,
so that was pretty cool.
Thank you.
I lost Mom chose gymnastics.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
and I will say, like, if we lived out east, like, I'll have a lot of friends that go to you guys' studio. So the feedback's been very positive. So let's hear it.
Thank you. Yeah, so we kind of did our little intro on like how the studio started. It wasn't necessarily I set out to open this business.
Yeah.
It kind of, fell into my lap, and I was like, okay, do I want to do this? And we started. What's funny is that first week, so like I said, Miss Julie had these classes set up to start the next week. So she had, full rosters, waiting lists, everything ready to go. And so when I take over, it's like, okay, what do? I just cold called every name on that roster. Here's the dancer's name for kindergarten combo. Here's their mom. I called. Some hung up on me. Some said, hey, thanks for calling. We already signed up at another studio. Some said, she's too traumatized. She just lost this very important person in her dance life, and she can't set foot in that studio again. Thanks. Good luck. Yeah, it was just kind of like, it was a gamble if anyone was going to stick with us. And I think Miss Julie had like around 200 students enrolled, and we had 88 kids that said, okay, we'll give it a shot. So that next week we started up. None of these kids had ever met us, like didn't know us from Adam. Showed up. I continued the business in her home though. So her widower was kind enough, Doug, he's an amazing human, to just say, hey, if you're taking over the business, it's a home studio. It's behind her garage. It used to be like a car shop that they converted into a dance studio. So he just gave me the garage door opener and was like, here's your access to your business. And I was like, I feel bad. Is it okay? You live in there. And he was like, honestly, this is one of the best things for him and his older son that was still living at home to transition to, and to kind of cope with her death, because they had gone for 30 years of hearing loud music blaring through those windows, the walls, shaking from tap dancing, to go to complete silence, he said would have been more traumatic for them. So it was kind of a good transition there. So we started that first year, 88 kids. We thought, well, we'll see how it goes. Everyone might quit by Christmas. We don't know. And we had our first recital. That first year was great. Yeah. We had the time of our lives.
Yeah, we did. We taught every class together.
Every class together. It was both. You got a twofer. And it was like we were just kind of figuring it out. And like I had taught a little bit, I taught in Lawrence at the Parks and Rec Center, through Wichita Parks and Recs. I had taught at the YMCA. I always kind of knew I wanted to do that. I didn't love how some of those programs were run. So this was kind of cool that it was like, hey, we can do this however we want.
To mold it to what's best for y'all.
Keep in mind, like how old were you at that time? 21, and I was 22, 23.
Yeah.
So like we're just babies, but we're figuring it out. Like we were so ambitious and so driven. I know. No,
I had no business teaching children at that time, but I did.
Stop it. No, we literally came in every day excited. Yeah. And then Jenna has always been the one who was like, she would see potential in things. So I was kind of maybe in this mindset of like, this is how Miss Julie did it. I want to succeed. This is how she did it for 30 years. Jenna would be like, hey, we should add a ballet class. Yeah, we didn't really have ballet. It was all combo classes. It was like, oh, you're in third grade. You're in jazz tap combo. You're in fourth grade. And, that's kind of how it was split up. And she was like, we should, sprinkle in some technique and stuff. And I was like, I don't know. We need to read the room and see if this is what our people want.
So what is a dance? Like, what do you guys teach exactly? Like,
Yeah. So why don't you list everything we teach
Okay,
now?
so at the studio now we have ballet, point, jazz technique, turns and leaps, contemporary, hip hop, acro, tap, which is Miss Kelcy's specialty. Is that it? So many. I think that's it.
Yeah, stretch and strengthening
Adult classes.
The
Oh, you guys have adult? I didn't know you guys had
are
adult classes.
thriving. Oh my gosh,
Thriving.
Eddie, you have no idea.
How long is an adult class?
An
How
hour.
many? An hour? How many sessions is it?
So we do our program like the school year. We have the fall session and the spring session, like semesters basically. However, most people enroll for the whole year because we don't have like a winter recital. So
Yeah.
it's like, well, if you want to be in the show, you basically sign up for the school year.
What if you don't want to be in a show?
You can opt out.
Okay.
Not kids. We're like, you can do it. But adults, I will never force an adult on stage.
Like
and I have
leotards
some.
and everything? Or,
No,
Okay.
hell no. It's like, what
Okay.
do you want to do? What would you wear to
I
the
wouldn't wear
Y?
a
Okay.
leotard on stage.
And even our costuming, we do it as a collaborative effort. I'm like, what is everyone comfortable in? I mean, I had a couple pregnant people in my advanced tap class,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to put them in a leotard and tights. We found cute tops, and we want to make it something to where people look forward to it, and there's nothing holding them back. Like, well, it's fun, but I have to wear this. Like, no, they're like, I get to pick my costume, I get to go on stage, I get to live out these dreams. Some of them are ones who danced their whole lives, gave it up for years, are getting back into it. Some are like an older generation where horribly they were like, I was told as a child you don't have a dancer body type, so they weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
So now they're doing this bucket list item because I have beginner tap for like older folks, and it's like they finally get to do this. And it's never too late.
Never.
Yeah, I will say we did a date night one time where we went to a dance class. I don't even know what we learned.
Like a partnering.
Yes, like
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
fun.
But the weird part was, I thought it was a partnering thing. So we show up together, obviously, and then next thing you know, they're like, "All right, switch partners." I'm like, I was like,
Were you at a
Weird.
swinger
yeah,
event?
Yeah, I was like,
did you
have,
double
like,
check the
I
flyer?
don't know. I had like these older ladies come up to me and like just like the way they're like holding me was kind of weird, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And I'm not a big dancer. I mean, when I dance, it's like getting hammered at Heroes
Yeah.
and grinding. Who knows what I'm
As
doing?
one
You know?
should.
Old
Yeah.
days.
Yes. Just let the liquor carry your body away.
You know what you should do for your next date night then? Come to our adult hip hop class. Have a couple
It's
drinks.
wild.
Come
Okay.
to the adult hip hop. It's not partnering. I
Yeah.
guarantee you we will not be partnering you up with any other ladies either. It's just like you were just saying in Heroes, we can dim the lights. We put some LED lights on.
What
You're
kind of
just-
music we talking here?
Oh, like 2000s.
okay.
yeah.
That's my scene.
Chingy.
Chingy, right there.
Well,
Soulja
no
Boy.
Holiday Inn. Okay.
Yeah, we got all the.
It's
all the
funny you
hits.
say that because I remember like when I was in college, that was like the around when NSYNC was out, and they had like the chair dancing and like the
Yes.
puppets, and I'm like, we tried to replicate that all the time in our fraternity. It's probably pathetic looking back. If they had videos of it, it'd be really sad.
So some of our staff members, they're like actively involved in helping choreograph the fraternity. What's it called? The
Is it
WSU?
Hippodrome?
Hippodrome.
Yes. Okay.
So they get them, like the groups of them, and they use the
Yeah.
studio. So there's some nights where I get to go in and watch, and there'll be like 50 of these fraternity boys
Yeah.
from WSU, and our staff members like help them out and give them their choreo, and they're still doing that. They're still
Well,
doing the
they're-
in-sync
yeah.
chair dances, puppet dances. It's
So they're actually getting professionally trained now. I think
Kind of,
back
yeah.
then,
You had to do self choreo back
it was
then?
self-
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's actually kind of impressive.
I know. I don't even know. I never did Hippodrome one time. I was just, like I said, scars from high school drama teacher saying, you shouldn't get into acting, whatnot. But
so mad
no.
she did that to you.
But no, that's cool. I'll have to add that to my bucket list. I have a list of like things to do for like date nights, and that would be.
Yes.
I'm guessing that'd probably be more funny than entertaining for the people watching. But no, that's a really good idea. I didn't know you guys did that.
Well, that's just it. People aren't watching. Everyone shows up on the same
Yeah.
level. Like, I'm just here to work
Yeah.
out, to have fun, to groove. So you don't have to
Yeah.
have that pressure of performance.
Yeah, I'll say when I did that one dance class, like everybody's really cool.
Yeah.
And they're
That's
cheering each
good.
other on, and
Yeah.
you're trying to learn. I think it was tango is what we were learning.
Oh.
Oh.
It's like very step heavy, and like I'm
Yes.
like forgetting my steps and
You
whatnot.
went 0 to 100.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do something, you might as well go, hard and go fast. So
That's what our adult hip hop's for.
And if you think we have energy, Madison, who
Oh,
teaches adult
yes.
hip hop, is like JoJo Siwa times 25.
Okay.
But less aggressive.
But like,
and like actually a cool
cooler.
person.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
that amount of energy. So we
No
know a lot
offense
of
to the
people-
JoJo fans out there.
there's a lot of them out there. So back to the kids. What age group do you guys teach? I'm guessing it's all ages, but like,
Yeah. So basically, once they're potty trained, I say 3 and up because I'm a mom of 4. None of my kids were fully potty trained till 3. We get the calls though, like, oh, my 9-month-old is perfectly potty trained and speaks 7 languages. You know, we get those like every day.
Mature 1-year-old.
My kid's way better than the rest. So but we say 3. I do allow like 2.5-year-olds if they're like with it.
And what do those kids do? Like,
so the pre-K combo track is basically but that's all we offer for them is pre-K combo. It's half ballet, half tap.
Yeah.
That way they get kind of like the 2 different styles. It's a very like fun, interactive class. They get some creative movement in there too. There's a theme every week. Like, you know, maybe it's kangaroo week. So they get a coloring page of kangaroo. We have kangaroo theme music. We're going to do hops on our polka dots. What that's really teaching them is I'm like, glue your feet together. It's helping them to learn sautés and keeping their feet together and that coordination. So rather than teaching them, this is the word sauté and this, and because they're 3, we make it very much, you know, where you can associate it with fun, interactive, magical movement.
So the moment a kid joins a class until like his or her first recital, like how long is that? How long does it take to teach them something until they're like, hey, we're going to get you?
So, you know, if we start in like September, the first couple months are just kind of getting the rules of the classroom established and like the order of things because I'm very structured, especially those little ones. We probably start choreo for recital in like December or January because then we pick out the theme of the recital around that time. And it's just like her and I brainstorming, like what would be a cool theme? Oh, that'd be fun. And we have to come up with something that you can pick 140 songs that go with.
Yeah.
People are always coming up to us like, oh, you should do a theme of this. And I'm like, ma'am, how would that have music for 3-year-olds and also like 7 advanced hip hop classes, you know? So it has to be a broad enough theme. But anyways, I think around December is when we start that choreo. And then each week we do it at least once or twice. Some weeks we work on it more. There's some weeks where I'm like, yeah, do it once, you're good. And then we'll focus on other stuff. So that way they're prepared for their spring recital. Yours might be different. She teaches the advanced classes. So.
I teach the middle schoolers and advanced kids. So I try to, because I want them to keep training through competition team or through competition season. So I tend to start around February and then get it done before spring break. And then that way, when they come back, we can just run the dance and then keep training. So it's a little bit different.
And what makes someone reach that advanced class level? Like how long? Or
each kid is different.
Each kid is different. We have what's it called?
Like
like a checklist for every single age group and style of dance that you have to complete. That teachers keep track of before we can advance you to the next level.
So it's kind of like, I guess, like gymnastics. Once you reach like certain plateaus or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
It's funny because some parents get confused. They're like, okay, my kid took beginner hip hop 1 last year, so I'm going to move them up to intermediate 1 now. And then the next year, intermediate 2 and intermediate 3. I'm like, wait, no, that means that your 9-year-old would be an advanced, you know, by like age 9 when they're still, when they're all 18-year-olds. Like you have to accomplish, like you said, gymnastics. You basically have to check off the skills before we move you up. So some kids will be in one certain level for 3 years till they get that. And that's fine. Everyone grows at different levels, but like my son, he was in intermediate 3 for several years. And now he's been in advanced 1 and 2 for a couple years. Like it's not just automatically move up, but and some kids plow through those and they're like the ones who work really hard and take directions well and practice at home. And
do the kids like graduate eventually? Like, is there a certain age where like, okay, you're too old to be here or something like that?
Well, when they graduate high school, that's I would love for them to stay forever. Some of them do and teach with us, but we have a lot of on staff that are our babies. But once they graduate high school, they either go on to do like college dance team or dance major at a college.
And some don't
dance.
Some are like, this was it. And then they're going to med school. And that's fine because this was their, you know, that was what their activity was. We do have adult classes though. So we have some, like right now we have a couple kids that took with us for years, moved away to college, and they just moved back and they're in the adult program. So they were only out of it for 4 years. So they're in all the advanced adult classes. And they're like, it's kind of nice. You don't have to give it up. Because I was always told, you know, like if it's not golf, you're not going to, you know, it's whatever other activity you do is just done. No, you could dance forever now. That's what we're trying to make happen.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to give it up. That's the only thing
That's
I
our
can do.
joke. We've said for years, hashtag never give it up.
Never give it up.
Jenna
the hip
swears
goes out, you're going to go get hip surgery. You're like, whatever it takes.
Right back in there. Yeah. I had a hysterectomy and foot surgery like the same week and was teaching tap like the next week. Miss Jenna says she's going to get her aerial by age 40.
Yeah, which is a flip over yourself with no hands. Let me tell you though, I can't even do a somersault. So this is going to take a minute, but I've got time. I've got about 5 years.
A somersault is like where you just kind of roll on the ground.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Can you do that?
I don't. So
I don't do floor work.
I don't really get on the ground. You know,
I don't either.
When my daughter's like doing gymnastics, like she's doing stuff like she just did a thing called, she just completed the other day, where she lays on her back, or she kind of she rolls backwards and flips over on the ground.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I
It's
don't
a
know
backwards roll.
Yeah, she just completed it for the first time the other day. But
Awesome.
and then there's one thing where you do a somersault and then you stand up with no hands. You know, so
Like
I did
a
that
straddle roll type thing. Yeah.
Whatever it is, somersault standing up with no hands. Like I tried that, and I did the somersault, so I was able to accomplish that. And I tried to stand up with no hands. I just fell on my ass, and it hurt.
I
It
was
hurt
going
a
to say,
lot.
how did you feel after the somersault?
I got dizzy.
So my husband and I played American Ninja Warrior once with the kids because I still have the house. I ended up buying that house. So I have this big empty room that was formerly a studio.
Yeah.
It's a playroom. So one day when it was like raining out, we got out old gymnastics mats and cones and we're like, all right, kids, American Ninja Warrior time. You know, we have 4 kids. So we have enough for a whole crew. And the finale of it was a forward roll. And it was the funniest thing watching my husband, who is very not active at all, like hasn't been to a gym in a decade, doesn't jog, nothing. Did a forward roll and stood up and was like, that was more thrilling than any roller coaster ride I've ever been on.
He stood up. That's an accomplishment in itself.
But he was like, so like, it's just funny, just with age, that just happens.
Yeah.
Your equilibrium or.
I know. Like I can still do a backflip on a diving board.
Okay.
Front flip. I did one at one of the trampoline parks and landed on my back. But when I got up, I was like, I can't see. I was like, I don't know what's going on right now. I got super dizzy and I don't know.
Happens.
It's hard. It's hard getting old. I always, when I'm teaching choreography and like the kids have to roll on the ground to stand up, and I always say like, if you look like me getting off the ground, we have a problem. You need to get it together.
Yeah. We need to get your age check. Are you actually
Yes,
really?
like, come on.
Yeah.
So favorite parts about what you're doing, like what keeps you going to work every day?
So many things.
I'm going to say one thing first.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Her.
Oh,
Like working with your best friend and the staff around you.
that's what I was going to say.
Is
first,
huge.
too.
I'm so sorry. I
No,
interrupted
it's
you to
okay.
say
We're
that.
Stealing the
excited.
thunders.
I'm going back. It's you. It's all
No,
you.
you were just excited.
I was so excited.
No, we have the best staff. So obviously we're best friends and have been basically our whole lives. And then we just somehow found all these weirdos, and
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened. Like the stars were aligned. And then a lot of our staff are kids we have taught growing up. Not a lot of people can say this, but I love teaching middle school so much. I love their drama. I love their tea. When they come in and they tell me all the drama that happened at school, I'm like, tell me more, because I love it so much. High school and also in middle school, they still think you're kind of cool. They are like, okay, she's she's really cool. But then they get to high school and they don't think I'm as cool, but like they at least respect me. I just love working with that age group because I think a lot of coaches kind of forget what it's like to be a kid in that age.
I have a couple of nieces that are, I think they're 12, 11, 13, and that drama. I find it funny.
It's amazing.
And like when I talk to them, I kind of ask about it. I kind of like, poke at it and just kind of like pry a little more. I do think it's funny. And the whole thing where they think you're kind of cool, like it's kind of weaning off, but part of it's still there. I think deep down, they think that, they don't want to admit it.
That's exactly
high school is a different beast. Yeah. So you guys are breaking the adage, like you don't get into business with friends.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
And what makes that work for you two?
I think it has to be mutual respect.
Yeah.
We both admire each other's work.
I can't do what she does.
I can't do what she does. Like what she just said about middle schoolers. Oh, that's a no for me.
Yeah.
They make me
Teaching
cry.
little kids, I would walk out, I think.
Like middle schoolers can make me cry. I can deal with parents.
I can't.
Even when the wives get mad and they bring their husbands in to try to make things happen.
Yeah.
I can handle that. The middle schoolers make me cry sometimes. 3 and 4 year olds and 5, like you were saying earlier, those are my people.
Oh, that's the best age in the world.
There's no facade. They don't come in a room and think like, I want to impress everyone.
Yeah.
Who am I going to be friends with in here? Like literally what you see is what you get. And they say the most ruthless things ever. And it just,
Like with brutal honesty.
I love it so much. So when I go in and like we were talking about, we were bragging on Madison earlier, our very energetic, advanced or adult hip hop teacher. She teaches some pre-K with me. And people have called us like the dream team because when you walk in, you're just like, whoa. Because we're both like, and you have to be a cartoon character to teach 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
If a 3-year-old's hesitant, walks in here and it's like, what do I do? And you go, stand on that spot, please. They're going to be like, no. We're like, hey, pick your favorite color, polka dot, love your outfit. Show me a twirl. What'd you do this weekend? Like you have to be on their level. And it's the most fun thing ever. You cannot leave a pre-K class unhappy. You just can't. Like it's in, or I can't.
Yeah.
Sorry, you didn't see my face.
Right. And so maybe that's what's worked too, is that we found
Yes.
our niche. You have to find what everyone thrives at, what they're good at, what makes them happy. Now, I do think it's important that everyone, when they first start out teaching dance, like you need to start teaching beginners and littles. We've talked
Yes.
about this. You have to kind of pay your dues.
I even did it too.
Because I get resumes all the time or calls from like college girls or boys too. And they're like, hi, I'm a very advanced. I want to come in and teach a master class just with your best, like 15 to 18-year-olds, the very advanced. And you're like, okay, so you want the cream of the crop. That's like saying, you want to go in and teach I don't know, like the starting players of the Shocker basketball team. Like, I'm going to do it. And then they're going to do good. Well, of course they're going to do good. They're the best ones there. But if you start off teaching like the ones where you're like, oh my gosh, they don't know the right from left, and we've been doing this for an hour, like it helps you to become a seasoned instructor, and you learn ways to teach things, and you see how you have to personalize, and every kid learns different, and that's fine. Yeah. We're both ADHD, and
big time.
we understand that like dance can be a huge outlet for some of these kids that struggle in school, and it can be their like one place to feel confident and to shine. So if you're not giving them that, if you're like, oh, like what you said, your drama teacher said, maybe this isn't for you. Yeah. We could have said that to so many kids who didn't get it. But if you just reapproach it and then they find out they're good, they might end up being our best dancers.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's like those hidden gems.
Yeah.
I've made it a point to at least do, maybe not teach the little kid classes, because they're so good at it, and I have no business doing that for weeks on end. But I will do I'll choreograph a dance for competition season with the little ones. So I did our intermediate little kid hip hop dance this year, and it was so hard, but it was so fun. But it just kind of makes you realize, like, okay, I need to go back to the basics. So you're right. Like, I think that's so important to do when you're starting out as a dance teacher, and to continue doing. Yeah. You have to do things that are out of your comfort zone.
What do you guys think about that Netflix series? Is it Netflix? Is it Cheer?
Oh, I loved it.
So great.
That's where we competed at nationals.
Oh, in
for
Florida?
Wichita State.
Okay.
Like that exact same venue.
I watched, was it 2 or 3 seasons?
Two seasons.
Okay, 2. Yeah, I watched them both. It's a beast.
I saw.
Isn't it eye-opening?
Yeah.
Sobbed. Yeah.
And it's, I did, my competitive dance experience was at a cheer/dance gym. So it was like, it was just a big warehouse, and half of the room was the competitive cheer side, and then dance was on this mat over here. So we would travel together in a bus. And so I got to see a lot of that cheer firsthand. And it's so accurate. Like, it is insane what they put their bodies through, and like terrifying, the concussions and stuff.
Well, and it makes me sad that they don't have anything after cheer, like after college cheer.
Yeah.
They're done. That's why probably were you at Wichita State when the cheer team was like national championship?
The top of the
Didn't
game.
they win something recently? Was it this past, really?
I don't think
I
so.
saw someone post with like a trophy, but I did see.
And everyone gets trophies.
Yeah, I did
these
see
days.
them win something. Maybe like, how long ago was it? 5, 6?
Well, so when we were there, remember there was a
Yeah,
scandal.
There was a scandal.
They won like all of it.
They were national champions.
Yeah.
And then they found out there was someone on the mat that was not an enrolled student. Like,
But-
they had one person, so they had to give it up. It was really sad because those kids had worked so hard.
But most of them were not kids, because cheer, you're done after college.
Yeah.
So people will just stay enrolled and like think you have to be enrolled for 9 hours. So there's like 27-year-olds still cheering on teams, because there's nothing after that. So that is sad for them. At least dance, we still get to do it.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are
You can go on and do commercial dance. You can do college dance. You can major in dance. There's so many options.
people on Dancing with the Stars, like those professionals? What are their backgrounds? Are they also?
I bet most of them are probably competition. They start as competition dancers, and then
On Dancing with the Stars, there's a lot of those ballroom kids. They go to those like schools where it's almost like a boarding school.
Yeah,
where
they're
they
Like a
like
Juilliard for dance?
Yeah, and it's so ballroom is kind of a whole different game than what we do,
Yes.
because we don't do any partnering,
Yet.
Yet, right? Sky's the limit.
You guys watch Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah.
I used to watch it religiously. It's been a minute.
I've one season I think was online only, like Disney Plus. I didn't watch that season, but the other ones I like watching it. My favorite thing about Dancing with the Stars is watch the people who have like zero dance experience,
Yes.
like the athletes.
I love that.
Like when someone goes on and they have all this dance experience, I'm like, well, that's not really fair. It sounds
Right.
fun because you want to see someone's growth in it. Because I think my favorite season, it was a basketball player who won. This was maybe 2-3 seasons ago. He played for the Cavaliers. I forgot what his name was. I'm gonna look it up, but he started.
Wait, is he married to? Oh my gosh, Tiana Taylor. Is that the guy?
I'm gonna look it up right now as we're talking.
Well, yeah, my favorite was Jerry Rice. I just
early
fell
on.
in love with him, and just watching how hard he worked in the studio, and just showed the respect to the dancers too. He didn't come in with like, well, I'm a football player and this is just dance. Like, he's a football player, right?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Help
yes.
me out with the sports
You
ball
got it.
Greatest wide
references.
receiver of all
Yes,
time.
you
Yeah.
got
Yeah, but I just remember watching him being like, I love this guy. And so it kind of, I don't know, yeah, it showed that athletes should respect dance as much. And then just seeing, like you said, their growth from never dancing to winning the Mirror Ball trophy.
You're right.
Yes.
That's Iman Shumpert.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah,
I couldn't
he-
think of his name.
Yeah, he had this one dance.
He was great.
Yes, it was a. What's the dance where it doesn't really belong in the category? Contemporary.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
It's
he
just
did.
kind of a mix of things.
Yeah, he did it too. I think Luna's when I got 5 on it. It was like a horror themed dance. Look,
Oh.
YouTube it
Okay.
sometime.
Oh,
it
I
was
will.
like I saved that episode on my YouTube TV and I watched that dance over and over and
my
over. I'm like,
gosh.
this is incredible.
That's
See,
awesome.
dance can be so cool.
It can be.
It
Yeah.
really can be.
Yeah.
Most people just think it's like ballet, and I love ballet and I respect it more than anything
Mm-hmm.
because you have to have it to be a good dancer. You have to be trained in it, but there's so much more out there.
Yeah.
And so much more interesting things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So much more we haven't even seen yet. That's what's
Yeah.
cool too. Is like, you know, people will share stuff with me all the time on Instagram. I'm sure people send you like
Yeah.
food stuff. Like,
Yeah.
have you seen this? Have you seen this? And like I get those twins because I'm a tap teacher. There's like these twins in Ireland who do like
Yes.
Irish tap dance, whatever. I get probably like 50 of those a day. People are like, have you seen these guys? And it's amazing. But then sometimes I get ones where I'm like, I don't even know what style this is. There was one the other day. Did you see it? It was to somebody that I used to know. And it was just kind of this like,
Was it like breaking or like
it was like a hip hop contemporary, but they're all in like street clothing. I'll send it to you. It's really cool. It's just, and I was like, I
they're
don't
like
even.
in vintage
Yes,
like outfits.
yeah.
Yes, I did see
Yeah, they
that.
didn't look like a dance troupe at all, and it was just like my jaw was on the floor, and I'm like, I don't even know what that style is, and this is what we do for a living, and it's just so cool when you see things like that.
Who is that guy? There's one. I don't watch a lot of dance videos, but I always saw clips on either like Reels or TikTok of. He's passed away, but he was on Ellen DeGeneres
Twitch.
Twitch.
We got
That-
we got to take class from him and me.
Really?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was the
He
most
was incredible. Like
inspiring.
yes.
Not only his teaching style and the way he just, I never saw him not smiling, and like his energy. And that weekend we went to a convention in Kansas City, and he was on staff, and there's probably like 7 staff members, and a lot of them are like, you know, they walk from one ballroom to the next to teach, and then sometimes parents or people will be like, hi, can I get a picture?
Yeah.
And sometimes they're like, I'm sorry, I have to go teach a class, whatever. He stopped whatever he was doing at any moment for every one of those dance moms who are
Yeah.
just Ellen fans. So
Our
they happen
dance
to-
moms
Yeah.
followed him around and
I'm
stopped
sure.
him the
I mean,
whole weekend.
and
He's
he
incredible.
put everything down to take pictures and say, how are you today? And shake their hands. And he was one of those souls that just, I hate the cliche, lit up a room,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
truly, like that's a tough one to swallow, that
Yeah.
when we lost him. And it just goes to show that mental health issues are real and need to be
100%.
discussed. And that's one thing I like too that we do. We start off every class with a sharing time, whether it's 3-year-olds, 18-year-olds, and we go, how was your day? And if some of them are like, oh, nothing, I go, what was the best part of your day?
Yeah.
And you can kind of read, it's good for us to have a check-in with them, and then we can see if someone's struggling. And then we know, hey, this teenage girl, I'm worried about her.
Maybe or maybe not be so hard on them that class.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yes. A total side topic. I mean, it is actually Mental Health Awareness Month. This is May.
You're right.
Yeah.
I did know that.
and
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. I mean, we're here to talk about Kelcy's dance studio, but total side tangent. Yeah. It's like, asking that important question. I know, like, when I pick my daughter up from school, the first question I always ask is like, how's your day?
Yeah.
And just, you can gauge a lot just from what the response is. Like, she'll be sad she didn't see somebody. You'll get that in that response, even though she doesn't say it.
Yeah.
But 100% that's important.
Yeah, and I'm fine veering into that conversation with alongside the studio, because I want that. That's one thing too. We've always said our motto. So when I took over Julie's studio, her room, the studio was left as is. You know, she died suddenly, and there was this little piece of paper, and it looked like a cutout from a newspaper that she had taped on her little like music stand, which was, you know, cassette player, DVD player, because this was back in 2010. And there was this little piece of newspaper that said, what is it that I can give to you today to make you feel better about yourself? And just when I read that, I just broke down crying. And I thought, she read this before every class. I know she did. And that was her teaching style. And I said, that's what we're going to continue. No matter where we go with the studio, we added competition. We have 2 locations now. We've done so much since then. But I want it to always go back to that little cutout piece of paper. What can we give these kids to make them feel better about themselves? When they walk out of dance, are they going to feel better than when they walked in?
Yeah.
It
That's
needs to
literally
be
the
their
only
safe
thing that
place.
matters.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you said you have 2 studios? I thought you only had one over.
Oh, no.
I need to do my research because you guys are at Carriage Parkway.
Yep.
Yeah. So, that was 10 years ago now. Isn't that
Yep.
crazy?
Oh my
We
gosh,
took
yeah.
over. So yeah, we moved out of the home studio. We got commercial space at Carriage Park, right by Thai Tradition.
Yeah.
Yes.
My jam. And yeah, so that we started off with 2 studios there, and then there was a warehouse out back that we were like, can we get that too? So now
Yeah.
we have 3 studios there. Huge. The back studio is the biggest studio in Wichita, like large as far as square footage wise. So we have 3 rooms there, and then we took over the art park about 4 or 5 years ago now.
5 because it was Remy's when he was born. Yeah.
5 years ago.
Where's
so,
that at?
So the art park is like this compound at it's on 29th Street between Woodlawn and Rock Road. There
Okay.
used to be the Rainbow Pianos. They're on the north side.
Okay.
Now
Yeah.
they're like wooden art sculptures.
Okay.
And they have a bunch of random businesses there, like little young chefs. You can do cooking classes for kids. There's Kids Day Out. There's the art park itself, Monart classes. They built a new building there, and in the basement there's 5,000 square feet that we took over. So we have 3 studios there as well.
Yeah.
So most nights we have 6 classes going on at a time with both locations.
Any plans for a West Side location?
Not a West Side as of now.
It's okay.
So
okay.
sorry.
I'll come out east for the adult
It's
dance
worth
class.
the drive.
Yeah.
It really
Oh,
is.
I don't mind. I drive every
15
day,
minutes.
so
You know, we have kids that drive from Arc City every day
yeah.
to take it our studio.
McPherson,
Like
Kentucky
from
That's dedication.
Salina.
It's a lot.
It's
Like-
crazy. I mean, I love
That's
it.
a 2-hour
and please
commitment,
Keep doing
yeah.
it.
If you find the place you feel at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. So West Side's no big deal.
That's okay. That's all good. I saw you made that comment about what is
The
it?
Canes being
Rhea?
on the West Side.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, kill me.
Yeah.
She's been dying for
Yeah.
Canes.
I messaged Canes. I like harassed them on Twitter probably for years.
Yeah.
Like, please, what is the problem? What is the holdup? Yeah, and now it's like, okay.
She was
finally,
like,
but
I
it's
will
on the West Side.
single-handedly keep you in business
Yes.
if you come to
I'll see if I can get you in for the soft opening when it comes. We'll see. We'll see. Well, after they invite me, won't who knows?
Well,
You never know.
please,
She'll
I will,
ugly cry.
You never
Please
know.
do that.
I will ugly cry.
Speaking of other things, I saw you mention on Facebook a while back that you used to work at Wild West World.
Yes, I did.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
What was that like?
Okay, let me tell you.
Do you have another hour?
Yeah.
No, I'll make it brief. I know I'm a chatter, but okay. So I was a dance major. They came in one day and it was like, hey, there are these scouts here. They want to hire, they need 6 entertainers to work at this new theme park opening. I hadn't heard about it in advance. I was coming straight from like a hip hop class. I was gross and sweaty and I was like, I'll show up. So I jump in line to this audition. Don't have a resume. Don't have a headshot. A lot of people had been like driving from out of town.
Yeah.
Whatever. They get in line and they go like 3 at a time. Here's the dance sequence. Do it. Go. Now sing 2 8 counts. Go. By the time I get up there, I walk in and I remember the owner of this
Yeah.
RWS and Associates out of New York City because they were the ones who did the casting. Like they were hired to come in and do the casting. And he looked at me and was like, do you not have anything else to wear? And I was like, I'm sorry, I just came from class. And he was like, I like something about you. Go home, change, put on some lipstick or something and come back.
Is that why you always wear lipstick? Like, no matter what?
Maybe. I need to give that to Ryan Stan. And my grandma did too. My one grandma, that was the only dancer in my family. She was a tap dancer. So it's my homage to her. Anyways, I came back. He liked me for some reason. I got called and got this offer the next week. It paid so good.
Yeah.
And it was basically, okay, your day off is Monday. You will be open Tuesday through Sunday. You're going to do 8 shows a day. And here's your costume, like whatever. We went out there. They taught us the choreo in a week. We opened. The craziest thing is we were out there doing choreo and like learning these shows and everything's under construction. There is not concrete poured yet. There are rides that haven't arrived. They were like, Good Morning America's coming this week to do the grand opening. And I'm looking at these piles of dirt and mud and rocks. And I'm like, there's something's not right. Like I'm 19. I know nothing, but something's not right.
Did you get paid though?
I was lucky. I got paid because the company I worked for from New York City, they paid all of us. We got paid. They did not.
Yeah.
So this company, which I just read on Instagram this morning, they're global now. Like this company's doing fine. They went through the ringer with Wild West World, and I feel bad because they kind of got screwed over there. But
Yeah.
I was lucky. I got paid for all of my shows. But so we weren't there the day they closed. It was Monday morning, our one day off. And I hear on KFDI or something, it was like Wild West World files Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And I'm like, all my stuff's there. And Matt was like, go get it now. He goes, that means that the government's going to come in and lock
Yeah.
everything up. My laptop was there, all my dance shoes, my makeup, because I was going to be back the next day. So I call the rest of the staff, who, this is a funny story. I was the only local entertainer. Everyone else they hired, they had done casting calls throughout the U.S., flew them all in, and were like, we will provide you cast housing. Guess where they put the rest of the staff for Wild West World?
I don't even want to ask.
There was this tiny little trailer in the trailer park up by Leakers.
Oh my god!
And they put like 5
Gotcha.
artists, these actors in, and so these actors fly in. They think that's Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
Like they lived in this trailer, and I'd be like, guys, I promise it's nicer around here. Like if you want to come look at downtown, like there's more to it than just this. Yeah. Anyways, but so we went and got our stuff and left. I might have grabbed one big thing off the wall that's Wild West World star thing as
Get
a
your merch.
memento. But yeah, I did get paid, but a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
What a crazy time though. No one ever came.
I did
my
not,
shows.
yeah.
I did 8 shows a day. My dad got.
I was gonna say your dad was
This
the
is
only
the
one.
cutest thing. My dad got a season pass, and so on his lunch break, he would drive out there and sit there on the bench and like watch our show, and they'd all be laughing like, "Oh, Bucky's here, Kelsey's dad." He was the only audience member we had for hundreds of shows.
Wow. Yeah, I never made out to Wild West World. I think.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know why we didn't. Maybe my parents maybe just didn't want to take me. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, it looked like a construction
Yeah.
zone. They were like, "We'll go when it's done."
So Jenna, what else do you do besides? Like, do you have any of the hobbies besides
Oh
like?
my gosh, no! I have no other hobbies.
You have to have something.
Okay, actually, I love to cook. So in my if I wasn't dancing, which will never happen, but if I wasn't dancing, I would love to have like Ree Drummond's life, live on a ranch, just cook all day for
Yeah.
cowboys. That's my dream.
She's an amazing cook.
Oh, thank you.
What's your specialty?
Oh, on the spot. Okay, this is very basic, but I feel very passionate that I have the best biscuits and gravy. I've never had one that's better than mine.
What kind of gravy?
A sausage.
Is it sausage?
Gravy.
Okay,
Duh,
all right,
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. I know that's very basic, but I feel like
I don't know. People
it's a thing. Like
people
it's
mess up.
serious.
People can easily mess up biscuits and gravy. It's
Yeah.
I guess I'm not surprised, but the biscuits can be hard,
Yes.
overcooked. Gravy's bland.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Like, season it or get out of my life. I love true crime. We love true crime. Very avid true crime fans.
What do you watch?
Mindhunter, every documentary you could
Yeah.
ever think of.
If it's on Netflix, I see it says true story. Someone died.
I'm in.
I'm all about
Yes.
it.
We were
and
really excited about the Jinx season 2 just came
Yes.
out. You watched?
I've not watched season
It's
1 yet.
great.
Oh, it's from like a while ago. Go back
Okay.
and watch it.
All right.
My number one thing, I am a Nebraska football fan. Like, very avid. Very avid.
I'm sorry.
It's
It's been a struggle. It's been a
really
struggle
hard.
for a long time. For
You know what? I'm back on the Kool-Aid. Like,
Yeah.
it's our year.
I
So,
mean, you have to. I mean, we're all like.
like,
I'm
it's
a-
my life.
I'm a Shocker season ticket holder, and the past couple seasons has been
Yeah.
rough. But I just renewed my tickets the other day. I'm like,
You gotta,
it's got to keep going.
You
yeah.
have to keep going.
That's
I will
one
never
thing-
waver.
That's one thing I want to give you credit for too. Is I love your passion for just Wichita in general,
Yes.
but your support for the Shockers
Well, I
and
appreciate
everything.
it,
Like
yeah.
when I think of Wichita, not just food, but like Shockers and whatever, I think of you and how you're always building them up, and you've got a good fan base, and I just love that you're kind of keeping it as relevant.
yeah.
And, yeah.
It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle, but you just
I know.
you hopefully
you, though.
you just keep hoping for that one moment again. You
Yeah.
know, and
Yep.
like I'll always remember the past that 10-year ride basically, and I always told myself like this may never happen again. So
Yeah.
we gotta cherish it, embrace it, just remember it because this could be the last time. I think the last time the Shockers made the Final Four was like in the '60s. So I'm on pace to be 80 or 90 if it happens again. So I was like, I may not remember
Yeah.
what happened 20 years ago.
The last time Nebraska was at a national champion, this makes me so irate at my dad. So the last time Nebraska was in a national championship, I was in 7th grade. I was basketball season. My dad was my coach. The national championship game, we had a game. And my dad was like, you're going to the game, I'm not, and I'm going to watch it. And we haven't been back since. So I missed the last time we were in a national championship, and I will never let him let it down. I know. Doug failed me so hard.
Unforgivable.
Do you root for the basketball team too?
Yes.
Yeah. They had a pretty good year.
They did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. I love them. Yeah. Go Big Red.
So how many games you go to a year, would you say?
On average, 1, but last year I went to 2.
Yeah.
I think I'll go to 2 this year. I always go with my friend Kate.
Yep.
And then we're going to take, my family's going to take our nephew, my nephew and my son this year.
She keeps saying she's going to take me to one.
You need to.
I would love to come experience this because it makes me happy how much she's into it.
I cry
and I
every
don't
time
have
I
that.
go.
So I've been to the stadium. Never seen a game there. It's pretty cool. I got to play flag football. We did our intramural team back in college. Was one of the best at that time. So we got to do this regional tournament and go up to and play on the field, which
Isn't
is
it
pretty cool.
gorgeous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a Nebraska fan, but it's pretty cool. I love just stadiums, arenas. I just checking new places out and checking out Nebraska games always been on my bucket list. I'm an OU fan, so
Well,
Okay.
Kate has season tickets.
yeah,
so
I know. I need to hit her up. So
Well, and
You
I'm
do.
like a big bandwagon person. If I
Yeah.
get there and everyone's into it,
You
I'll be
will.
like,
it's all about the experience. and
I'll die
environment,
for
know?
you, Nebraska. Like, I would get into
Yes.
Yeah.
it. And even though I have no,
I mean, it's like me with like baseball. I have no allegiances to a baseball team, but when I go to a baseball game, like I'll go buy the hat and I'll just get into
Yeah.
it, you know.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you just want to like, put yourself in that moment and just like, take it all in.
Absolutely. That sounds really fun. I'm hoping to make it to Nebraska someday
Yes,
with you.
you will. I promise. Pinky.
Kelcy, you are also a singer.
Correct.
Yeah, you guys perform quite a bit.
Yeah.
You guys
So,
are like Wichita Union Stockyards and whatnot, and
yeah. So I kind of do two different things there, two very different things. I do the country music with my family, and then I do theater on the side.
Okay.
That's my hobby, my fun money. But so my family's band, my dad is like a local music legend. He's like my hero. He's been around. He's had a band since he was a kid here in town. And in the like 70s and 80s, it was called the Fowler Brothers Band. They like opened up for Garth Brooks and George Strait, and like lots of people, if you were in the country music, fan base here in Wichita, knew them. And they actually had an offer to go to Nashville and make a record deal. But my dad, we were young, and he was like, I don't want to leave my wife and kids. I want them to have a life here. But he's good enough that he could have.
Yeah.
And so he's incredible. And then when we grew up in it, me and my sisters, we'd like grow up at sound check. And we're like, can we sing? And he's like, I'm not going to be one of those parents who's like, hey, here's my kid. I'm going to put him on stage. And then they suck.
Yeah.
So we had to audition in our living room weekly. And they were like, nope. Like he was the Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
Like it was like, nope. The 3-part harmony's not there. Nope. That needs to be a diminished chord. You didn't train. Nope. Sorry. Let me hear that vocal run again. Nope. Rough. Not clear. So we tried and tried until we finally got accepted to do one song. And my dad was booked for it. It was the Fowler Brothers playing at the Riverfest open air concert. And he was like, I'll let you guys do one song. And he kind of thought that would like nip it in the bud and it would like scare the crap out of us. And we'd be like, never mind, that's a lot of people. Nope. He like couldn't rip the mics away from us. Candace, my younger sister, was 5. I was 7 and Christine was 9. So we were like little and we did Patsy Cline, I'm back in baby's arms. And like that was our
I know,
song.
right?
Yeah.
And so we kind of do this classic style that you don't see, Patsy Cline and Loretta Lynn. We do old school stuff, which older folks love to see. They're like, look at these little kids carrying on that generation of music. So we've been with it ever since. And now me and my sisters, we do a lot more solos and stuff to kind of take the pressure off my dad. But he's still the lead man. He's still a monster on the guitar.
and that group is called.
Oh, that is now Bucky Fowler and Southern Charm.
Okay.
And we play at like the Stockyards
Yep.
and the Keg, and we have a Facebook page. We'll be at the Stockyards in June.
So when you go, is it like a big line dancing stuff?
Oh yeah, the dance floors are packed. 2-stepping, like Western style
Yeah.
swing dancing, line dances to songs.
Don't you have a group, like a dance group that goes every
Yes,
week?
there's this group of like professional ballroom people,
Yeah.
and they come and they've said, they don't usually follow country bands, but they like that we do such a variety. We'll do like waltz music and different stuff so that they can do the stuff that, the styles that they've learned. Like they'll do these beautiful foxtrot and tango moves and stuff.
cool.
My partner, she's huge into like line dancing and 2-stepping.
Oh my gosh,
You
brother.
gotta
Back
them.
before kids, like she would go with her sisters and they'd go to like rodeo and whatever it is now. Huge into it. Like they had like some older guy they'd always meet, like I don't even know how old he is, 50s or 60s, that loved to line dance or whatever. So they'd go and they'd meet him up and do all that stuff. She's tried to teach me line dance or 2-step or whatever it is, and I suck at it. I just can't. I got the idea of I know where my foot's supposed to go, but it just doesn't do it. And we've been talking about going to the Stockyard sometimes, or
Ooh.
like having her and her sisters go, and maybe I'll just sit back and drink and
Yeah,
let her do
that's
her
what my
thing.
husband does. You should come. Saturday, June 22nd, we'll be at the Stockyards.
Okay.
What time?
8:30 to midnight.
I thought you guys played. I thought 9 o'clock is when the
9 o'clock, you're right. I'm sorry.
9 o'clock to like 11, something like that.
9 to midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I do theater. I'm in, one more cheap plug here. I'm in
Plug
Roxy's,
away.
Roxy's
This episode's
downtown.
going out. I think. What is today? Today's the 15th. This will go out the 22nd, 23rd.
Okay.
Cool.
So next
perfect.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. So we open this week, but it goes through June 8th. Legally Blonde the musical. And if you've never, have you been to Roxy's downtown?
I have. Yes.
Yeah. Cutest little place. It's very intimate. 150 seats. They've got a full kitchen and bar. And
Yep.
Great food.
this cast is amazing. Like I'm the weakest link, y'all. Like I can barely keep up. And the girl playing Elle Woods, it's like you've seen the movie, right? It came out when you were in like
Oh
college.
yeah. Reese.
So,
I'm a big fan of Reese movies. Even her TV shows are really good
Yeah.
too.
yeah. Well, then you'd love the musical. It's
Okay.
really funny. It's really high energy. And so yeah, I'm a small part in it. I play Brooke Wyndham, the one in jail, but Come see Legally Blonde through June 8th at Roxy's.
Okay. Singer, dancer,
What
actor.
can't she
I
do?
know. You're
stop.
actually a singer. I mean, aren't you a big karaokeer?
The biggest.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
am.
Favorite spot to karaoke?
The stop,
That's
obviously.
all right. Yeah.
Hands
Shout out
down.
to Tyler.
When I
Hands down.
when I die, heaven is literally the stop. Like I
Yeah.
know when I like pass over
Mhm.
and I go into like heaven or whatever it is, like it's going to be walking into the stop.
Yeah.
It's
She-
gonna pass me.
Biff's
a
gonna
mic.
be there behind the bar,
Yes.
just pouring
Yes.
drinks.
100%.
Ready for her with her vodka.
Yes.
When we walked in one time, my favorite, like one of my favorite Jenna quotes. There's too many to list,
Yeah.
but she walked in and opened her arms like,
I think it was like the first time after COVID.
I think so too. And it was like Jesus, like she looked
Yeah.
up and said, "These are my people." And it's, all walks of life in the stop. And it was the funniest
Yeah.
thing. And she just like,
the
she was
greatest.
home.
Top 3 go-to songs for karaoke for you.
Oh my gosh.
Got 3 to choose from.
Today was a good day by Ice Cube.
Okay.
Killing Me Softly,
Fugees,
Fugees.
yeah.
And my favorite song of all time, Careless Whisper, George Michael.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not great. Don't listen to me. I'm terrible, but I put a lot of
not.
passion
It's-
into
no.
it.
So I
You're
loved
hard on yourself.
karaoke. I mean, obviously I'm Asian and we love karaoke, but like it's all about the entertainment. It's all about the fun and just
yeah,
letting
I'll
loose.
put on a show for everyone.
Like for me, like Bryan Adams, Summer '69 is my jam. If it's not, obviously like I want it that way or whatever. But it's just having fun, go out to the crowd, getting them sing along, maybe dancing with them or whatnot. Yeah, we'll do. We've gone to Stop plenty of times, or Champs does karaoke sometimes.
Did you
Yeah.
go to Larry Bud's when they had karaoke on
100%,
Thursdays?
yes.
I knew it.
Yes,
The
That was her
greatest time of
thing.
my life.
when Larry Bud's first opened,
I lived there.
my friends and I are like, we need to become regulars, get to know the server. So we need to come to Larry Bud's like 30 or 40 straight days.
I think I was there as
Yeah.
well.
So we went literally 30, 40 straight days in a row
That's
and became
amazing.
friends with
Oh my
everybody.
gosh.
And yeah, that was Larry Bud's one of the greatest times of my life. And
R.I.P. LB's.
Yeah, I
it was
know.
so great. What a time
Yeah.
to be alive.
man, all right.
I never went to LB's. I'm sorry.
you
I had
missed
2
that. You
babies
missed
at home.
that.
I know I missed that part, but I lived
That's what
vicariously through
babysitters
her.
are for.
I know.
Of course, I say that and have a kids, and I'm at home
Right.
quite a bit. So, all right. Let's kind of wrap things up. Want to let everybody know how to find Kelcy's dance studio, all the information.
Okay, so we have an Instagram and a Facebook account. Our Instagram handle is at Kelcy's Dance Studio.
That's spelled Kelcy spelled multiple different ways.
Kelcy.
Kelcy.
See,
Yes.
like Travis.
Yeah.
Yes, Kelcy, but with a Y. And then the phone number
990-6070.
With a 316 area code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like to answer the phone. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Email is wonderful,
Email's
guys.
great.
100%.
I'll email you back quickly. The phone calls take a long time, and it all could have
Not
been an email.
our personal phones, please.
Oh, yeah. No, I have a phone number I put on my blog page. I never answer it.
Yeah.
I'm like, leave a message.
Leave a message,
Yeah.
and then I email back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the website's kelsysdancestudio.com. And the summer schedule's up. You can sign up now for classes.
Yep.
Summer dance camps. We'll have 1-day dance camps for kids like Princess Tea Party,
When's that
Bluey
start?
Dance Mode, June 3rd. Yeah.
I'm getting ready to publish a summer camps guide, so I'll have to make sure I put that in there.
Yep. I'll send you our flyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Jenna, Kelcy.
Yay.
Hey, we'll see you at Adult Hip Hop this
Yay.
summer.
I will be there. I will.
Receipts will
I'm
be
a man.
provided.
I'm a man of my words. So
Yes.
yeah, y'all can keep me in check there.
Yes.
And
Awesome.
you'll find out how I did. It's not gonna be good, but
Oh, we'll be
I wanna
there.
have
You
fun.
could do instead of like a food review, you could do like a dance class review.
Oh, I've done. I reviewed the last dance class I went to, and like I said, this summer, I'm gonna try to do like whole new experiences, like things I've ever done. Like I did the PBR rodeo not too long ago.
Yeah.
We did what was that? We took our daughter to some place where she paints this figure. I don't even know what it is, out west. I can't remember the name of the place.
Color Me Mine.
Yes, that's it. Color Me Mine. Check that out. I did. What else have I done this year? I don't know. I'm just trying new things. You
I
know,
love it.
step out of the comfort zone and just enjoy life.
Yeah, there's a lot to do in Wichita.
Yeah.
Let's get out there and
Yeah.
experience it.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys again this summer
Yes.
then, and everybody will hear about it.
Thank
Yay.
you.
All right. Thanks for
Thank
hopping
you.
on.